moment.
Ah,
All right, so I'm actually about to have to step off for a second, but I know Dekra has something he wanted to say, kind of what he had thoughts on of the meeting. So if you guys want to kind of talk about that real fast, I'll pop back in like 5 minutes.
Yep, no problem.
No, but like when
Wife aggro.
This has been a busy night for me
I'm not
when
a
it
good
comes to different
speaker.
groups.
I don't want the floor.
It's okay.
So are we starting? Do we have any questions or shit? I don't know how we're on this.
I guess wait for Vola.
Agmar, maybe he can
What?
tell us what we're here for. Like, not in the meeting, but the Discord.
I think we all kind of discussed that earlier on what the Discord is generally kind of for.
Oh god, dude.
You could do
Or
less
the
and explain
UN.
it every time.
Yeah, we'll have a script. Script just for it.
Oh Jesus, dude. Oh, sorry. PTSD. Oh my god.
You remember, do you? Yeah.
And dude, fucking. Oh my god, fucking Obi-Wan's everywhere. We're getting slaughtered.
What the fuck are you talking
This is great.
It's pretty fucking random.
Dude, I'm playing Star Wars Battlefront 2. Oh god, Obi-Wan's everywhere.
Yeah, I just picture like a UN meeting, then you go over to the left, and there's Korea with a computer playing like.
That sounds
You shouldn't give money to EA, Agmar.
Too late, man.
Okay,
No, the
you know,
old
I,
one.
I think I'll do it anyway. Okay, so I think.
Oh, you're playing the original Battlefront?
Since I brought you, I pretty much brought you all here. I guess I should explain why I wanted you here. So okay, here it goes. I have no script, so it's off the top of my head. Basically, I'm relatively new to the EC community compared to all you guys. You guys are like 2 years old. I'm 6 months into this, but from what I've been seeing, right now the community is a bit stale. Everything's bad, toxic, and I just wanted to help the community. Okay, so my idea for doing it was every guild has their play times. We play at this hour for X amount of reasons because it's better for our players, etc., etc. But what I would imagine would be best is if we, as guild leaders, establish set times, universal times, when we know most, if not all, the guilds are going to be on, because that just leads to better war parties, a better gaming experience. For example, today, I don't know where this wasn't really planned, but quite a few guilds got on at the same time. For example, well, not today, yesterday. I'm sorry. Yesterday, for example, I ran with a 15-man war party, and instead of getting like 10, 15-minute queues, I got 2, 3-minute queues. And 4 battles in a row, I got against 4 guilds. Played against Mist, played against Bro, played against CSM, etc., etc. So if we can get, if we can get that to repeat itself, if we can get that to be constant, it will be better, right? So the idea here is just to find times that would be best for all of us to play together.
Yep. Dekra, you were doing what I was doing with the people I knew in the LSM guilds, because I've been trying to get together. I got together with Strike Force Ultra, and I was getting together with TOC playing at similar times because of the guilds I had new people inside of. And so you just took the ball and we're like, yeah, let's get everybody in this shit, which is good. That's a good thing. I think it's a good thing for the community as well, because like I said before, I think guilds made this game, and guilds is what's kept it alive.
Yeah, I share that same opinion.
That's definitely a big part of it.
Yeah, there's a lot more things that go into it, and the other thing is that because I have a gaming group that I play with on Deathwatch that are all big 40K fans, like the actually pen and paper D&D kind of Deathwatch game, and one of the guys is one of the people that used to be inside one of the old, really, really old Chaos Guilds, Lords of Arcona. And he left the community and guild for Lords of Arcona because people just got really toxic, and he just can't keep himself coming back to EC because he feels like Chaos as a community on that side is pretty toxic. And that's something that as guilds, if we promote this camaraderie and whatnot inside the community, then I'm totally down for. Personally, now this is just my opinion on this, I do not like it when I see loyalists teabagging people. If you're Chaos, on the other hand, and you're Slanesh worshippers, do whatever the fuck you want. That doesn't matter to me. But if you're a loyalist, that's like...
Are we putting rules against teabagging now?
No. Like I said,
Come
that's my personal opinion.
No, please God, no.
Yeah, because it's a thing. To me, it's a thing that that promotes toxicity because it's specifically targeting people to rile them up, and that just makes people angry, and then they just take that bait and go with it.
That is true.
Yes, but like I said, I'm not saying not to do it. I'm just saying personally, I don't like to see it on LSM sides of things, just because
maybe,
it's out of character for Space Marines. Because when I play EC, I play as a Space Marine. You know, I don't know if anybody here has actually heard me talk in game. Like I have a voice I do and everything. I am a Space Wolf when I'm in game.
And that's a really big part of it. Toxicity. I mean, it's my son's eating, by the way, guys. Toxicity is a pretty big thing that's plagued DC right now.
Yeah.
And one of the issues is, and I'm all for, like, competitive nature. I understand that. I get it. There's a point to where a lot of people take competitive nature, they take BMing, they take just whatever they can. They take it a little too far.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that we don't want to be competitive. We don't want to have a little bit of BM. Like it's a thing people can do, but there's a point to where it's no longer fun sportsmanship, and it's just bad. And that's a really big thing that we need to try and avoid if we want to see an improvement in the actual community at all.
Yeah,
like we can like if people teabag, that's fine. If people go out of their way and just say like LSM or fuckbags, they don't deserve to play this game because they're OP, and they say it at the end of every single match like 12 times, it just gets old, Like same thing for orcs, chaos, everything.
Yeah, that's why I like the in-game banter that people do when they actually like back in the day when Thraka would run DLB, and then the orcs at the end of the game would type like orcs, like they'd spell things like orcs, and they'd have in-game banter that they would aim that is aggressive, but it's lore appropriate for orcs towards their enemies.
Yeah,
well, that's the point of it, though, isn't it?
But
Yeah.
Thraka private message people afterwards, harass them.
Yes,
Well, that's stupid.
yeah.
Okay.
Hey, a false happiness is still a happiness to new people. Like, I'm just saying.
Well, the point across here, I think, would be to limit toxic behavior unless there's a lower reason behind it, or unless it's against people. For example, say if I'm fighting WCA and I kill Vola and I teabag him, that's fine because I know Vola.
Yeah, I'll just cry about it later.
See?
But yeah, that's the thing. Like, we are all guild leaders. We need to realize that. We need to accept that. And we need to figure out what we can do to foster a better fucking community for everyone.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think but the main thing that at the moment, I think our focus should be just coordinating event time.
Exactly.
If we just couldn't do that one thing, focus on that, and then as we get the player base to increase, one thing me particularly, just bit of real life information. I'm a psychology major. I'm actually working on my master's right now in counseling. I see a lot of things in pop culture at the moment that is really, really like hate bashing people because they are hate bashing other people. So like people that like say they are like shit posting other people inside game and targeting specific factions, calling them doing all those things, yelling at those people to stop doing that isn't going to stop them from doing that. That is not
exactly
the way to approach the situation.
Yep. So basically, if you just constantly are butting your head against a wall, nothing's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Don't fight fire with fire in this case. Honestly.
Go ahead.
Well, no, you're good. But I think we probably should just focus primarily on getting a schedule set up right now, guys. We can always worry about drama and how to cut it back and all that later. Like that's not what we're here for right now.
Yeah. I do want to say as a kind of a little side related tangent. The other day when I was playing on, I think it was Friday, there was a Ultramarine inside one of the games I was playing that was teabagging someone that I just executed, and he was like really like aggressive and what about it. And I told him like in game over the mic, I was like, Ultramarine, you should be shamed by what you just did. Only Slanesh worshippers teabag people. And
Was it
then he
one of
messaged in game saying, I am ashamed with a frowny face. And it was probably one of the best moments I've had interactions with a public player.
That says a lot.
Yeah,
If
and I was
only-
like,
just the random
it was
Ultramarino.
a random. Yeah, it was
Okay.
just a random, and it was the right after he said I am ashamed. Like I told him I was like realizing your mistakes is a great step. Like says you are forgiven, and he just like smiled. It's like a smiley face after that. Like it's like stuff like that. That to me is like a way of combating that toxicity, as opposed to quit fucking teabagging people. Blah 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 blah. But that's like, if that's what your guild wants to do, I promote this camaraderie and not teabagging inside my guild. That's just a standard that I
Yeah.
hold by.
I mean, I can
And I think with
I can say
with-
for Strike Force Ultra that it's literally in our rules. You're representing the chapter. You have to be mindful of what you're doing when
Yeah.
you're in game. You
That's-
wear our tag. You follow what we say. And,
that's exactly right.
yeah. We really we don't accept bad behavior within our ranks. Like if we have that stuff, a lot of people get on top of it, even if they're not in command.
Yeah, here's a big thing everyone needs to just really remember and keep at heart. We're all separate guilds. We all have separate rules. We are all separate entities. But the thing that matters is that overall, we all play EC. We all play the same damn game. We all are the same community, and we're all trying to help it in the way we can. Every one of us can go about it in a slightly different way as long as the overall goal is the same. So with that in mind, I think, Dekra, you already talked to them about the schedule, right? For everyone to kind of meet up, your idea on it?
Yeah, the idea, yeah, I did, but I haven't set any time yet.
All right. So with that in mind, we need to all kind of start thinking. So like we said earlier, about 3 to 4 hours prior to now is a good time for everybody, more or less, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Weekends, I'm
Yeah,
assuming,
yeah.
are best for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Is that not good? Right, guys? Weekends good still? Yeah? A-okay?
Yeah.
No one has any issues?
Nope.
All right.
Some people are typing.
Yeah, Lilith's very old typing.
This inside the meetings channel as well.
So what does it depend on, Lehman?
Hold on.
Essentially, my guild represents more of the more casual side of the guild-based community. We're more of
Yeah.
a gaming community than a guild. We're in there to have fun, but they also have a bit of in all honesty, they have a bit of a sour taste from interactions with the other guilds.
Well,
So
Um,
it's going to be
if I-
difficult for me to get them to play with other guilds.
Completely
If I may-
understandable.
if I may talk for 1 second here, I mean, I guess as we are different guilds, we all have different goals, and some may see themselves as more competitive, and others see themselves as more casual. And I mean, as long as we can get together, I mean, nobody's forced, right? Nobody's
Yeah.
forced to play, but I think it's a great idea to get together and talk about this stuff. I mean, I think ourselves, Strike Force Ultra, we're not really the try-hard competitives. I mean, we have fun, we have sometimes competitive stuff, we have casual stuff, and other guilds go full competitive or something, but I think everyone is happy if we can get some people to play together on whatever time we decide then.
Exactly. And with that too, like he said, there's competitive guilds, there's casual guilds, and there's guilds that are both. But what this will mainly do is, if we have guilds that want to be competitive against each other, they should still compete, or not compete, but can join in on this event that we're doing. It's simply to boost numbers, give every guild faster matches, give them better games. If they want to be competitive, they can private message each other and have a sub-event, quote unquote, about fighting each other, trying to set up a guild v guild, maybe getting some matches to where they might bump into each other, things like that. But overall, I think all the guilds should try their best to get together on the same day, just to show that, look, queue times don't have to take 30 minutes. If you have 3 guilds rolling around together, one's on Chaos, one's on LSM, one's on Orcs, like, the likelihood of getting a match with those 3 groups playing at the same time with, in a perfect world, roughly the same numbers is a lot. The queue times will be cut down by almost half, if not more. They might take 5 minutes to get to a game instead of 10.
I agree. It's
That's-
also the other thing is if we ran war parties of say around maybe like 6 or 7 people as opposed to a full stack of 15, you can get all the public gamers inside those games as well.
Mhm.
So like say you have a bunch of public gamers that want to play Eldar, and you have 7 Mist guys all stacked together inside of a team. The rest of the Eldar on that game are going to be public gamers, and they can play with them. And then same thing with Blop, or same thing with TOC or DLB or whoever. If you have a bunch of smaller war parties, they'll get queued up with more of the public gamers promoting more activity inside the game overall.
Mhm.
It takes exactly 9 people on one faction to start a game. I've played nearly every single day for the last 2 weeks because I'm on break, and that has been the peak. That has been the point where people get games in one faction is 9 people.
Mhm.
9 people.
And
Yep.
that's one thing too. I think it was you, Torin, actually, with the 6th Legion yesterday when we had our orc match going. Spur of the moment orc match. We had almost 30 orcs in the EC community Discord that just showed up out of the woodworks to play with us.
Yep.
We actually had enough people fighting us. We had instant queues. We had 3 parties going, mind you. We had instant queues for almost 3 hours straight, and this was at this time. We started it at 7 p.m. our time, so 30 minutes prior to now.
Yeah.
We had instant queues for almost 2.5 hours to 3 hours with almost 30 orcs, all because we had another guild, which we didn't even ask them to, VI and 6 and a few other guilds just were playing at the same time, and we almost had instant queues.
Yep.
Like,
That's
the
the
other
potential.
The other thing with that is, as far as the public gamer side inside the game, VI has run orcs because we do have other gaming. We'll have other groups that we'll play as sometimes. Like we'll play as Chaos, we'll play as orcs. When we did that, like I said, that 9 party minimum. As soon as we had 7 or 8 people on one match queuing, we didn't get any queues, but everyone that was in the game, all the public gamers looked and said, "Oh, hey, look, orcs are queuing. I want to play as orcs," and they jumped on orcs. After that point, we never the same thing. We had instant queues every single game because the majority of the players inside EC play on Loyalist and Chaos, and that's like public gamers included in all of that. Public gamers are the ones that actually get on and seem to be the most active. They're the ones that during the time when the guilds aren't on, they're playing, or people that are inside guilds and not playing with their guilds on alt characters. If you could just get one faction going that's not played as much, like Eldar or Orcs, you can get those instant queues all the time. At least from what I've seen. I need more evidence for it.
I think overall it's a good idea maybe to get some events going where you play, for example, you get people from all guilds together you can get and play orcs, for example. Because then you can get a full group of
Everyone
orcs.
getting on orcs?
No, I'm just making an example. Like maybe to play other factions, for example, if you want to do that. I mean, we're not limited to just Space Marines or Chaos or Eldar or whatever.
Yeah, I do have some wolves that are very hesitant, some outright refusing to play anything but a Space Wolf, though. And they're going to be
That's
some
fine.
players like that.
Yeah, there's always like fanatics within a guild. Same case with us. Guys
I
that just
approve
play
their
LSM and nothing else. If you
fanaticism.
play something else, you're a heretic.
We're guilty too.
Really?
I think Asriel knows what I mean.
yeah, we actually have a few over in our group too.
We have a
Yep.
few, but not
Space
that
Marines
many.
are the poster boys. That's why we generally have the most people fighting in game. The majority
Hey,
of the
Az,
time.
you're a little quiet, by the way, bud.
Like we recently just started a Chaos guild. We have an Orc guild, but most of the guys have still they haven't touched not any of the factions.
And that's another thing too. Like that's going to happen in every guild, and that's fine. That's really not an issue as long as players are playing and they are enjoying the game and they're representing the guild. Even if it's not the guild, like if they're not representing the guild, they're just playing with us, playing to help the community, playing for fun. That's fine. Let them be fanatical about one particular faction. It's a-okay. Like that's something we just can't change in people.
Yep. Cool.
Sorry, chat.
Yeah, I'm looking at the messages.
Yeah, same.
just awkward quiet.
Yeah, like it's the thing is, if we can convince people to try the other factions, if we can, great. I think overall having people actually play and experience the other factions will help the game overall, because then you'll start hearing a lot less bitching about, oh, this faction's weapon's so OP. How do you know it's OP if you haven't used it yourself? Granted, it might really be, like it could very well be, but you won't really understand it unless you use it yourself, unless you play on that faction yourself. You see the weakness of every faction.
Oh yeah.
Like that's a big thing we should really try and emphasize to people. Like trust me, I like Space Marines best. Always have, always will. But I still enjoy the other three factions.
To be honest, I've never played an Eldar in this entire game, but I'm
honestly
of the opinion that Eldar are overpowered.
Eldar are probably one of my favorite factions to play as a big group. Like they are super fun when you have an organized team.
Yeah, and that's the. I think there's a bunch of other reasons that go into the power base of the game that brings it to what it is. It's literally not just the weaponry. And I get sick of people inside my guild always saying that, oh, blah, blah, blah weapon, it's so OP. And I'm like,
Yes.
But that weapon is like completely situational. It's all about placement.
Exactly.
Then that one person they decided to shoot at, what is overpowered in this game is teamwork and organization.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
But that's one thing we really need to emphasize within our guilds, within the game, is we got to really think too outside of just our guilds. We are guild leaders, yes. But we not only are guild leaders, we're also leaders for other players in EC. We represent the leadership that this game desperately needs right now. So we really need to take that mentality and we need to start using it, not to recruit to our guild. If that happens, that's great, but we need to also start working on the actual community itself.
I think what Vola's saying, and just to give him a little shout out, Via, who can't be here today, he says that it's important that we don't have community manager involvement in whatever we do. So
yeah, this has to come more from the player base than involving anything to do with devs or anything like that, because you know the situation.
Yeah. Like the game is in a desperate state right now. We all know it. We can accept that. We'll move on from that. That has nothing to do with this anymore. At this point, you guys are all crazy fanatics. I'm going to keep using that word. I like that word. Who really want this game to do well. And even if you aren't, you're still here, which means deep down inside you want the game to succeed. And the way it'll do better is if we just start actually trying to make it do better. And not in the sense of directly taking control of things and being like, oh shit, well now the guilds have to all get together to try and make this game better. It's up to us. We can do this. No, it's not that. We just want the game to be better. Yeah. Period. So let's make the game better. Foster a better community. Foster more games. Grow the game by playing the game, making it enjoyable. Yeah, that's really what we are.
Oh. Sorry, I always feel like I'm interrupting somebody when I speak up.
Just cut me off.
The whole thing that I do ever since I've started playing this game, the whole reason I stuck to it is because I'm a 40K fan. I've stuck with this game. I love this game because it allows me to do something that I can't do in any other game that I play, minus like Relic Space Marine, is play as a individual character in the Warhammer 40K universe. No other game, all the other Warhammer games are like RTSs and other variations of some sort of specific strategy game. This one, you can have an individual character that you control, and I freaking love that. And I love the 40K universe, and I feel like the reason people stick with this game is because they love the 40K universe as well, not because this game and its mechanics are the best fucking thing ever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It satisfies a need that no other game can do.
Exactly. Exactly.
Even if it's not the best way to satisfy it, it's there. So that's why people play it.
Yeah.
I still think this game's done even the certain tweaks that they have in it. It's done specific things and tackled specific issues that other games haven't really tried tackling, like how you implement very melee focused universe with guns. Like that's harder to do. That's a harder thing to tackle, and I think it meets just somewhere around that in halfway.
It does. EC is one of a kind for the Warhammer community, and we all like Warhammer. That I'm sure is undisputed. we all enjoy Warhammer, which is a big reason why we're here and why a lot of people are here. Is because we want to see this first stab at this kind of game succeed. And
I agree with
My-
the melee thing.
my family's having a jolly time beside us.
Oh,
But,
I'm having a jolly time with my girlfriend. She's not very happy.
Focus.
Oh, baby.
Focus.
But it's good that we want to see this game do well. And one thing too that I know would help it, and this is going back a few text messages that Layla said, we could also host events trying to help the other factions. For example, every Saturday, I know now that Rock Dak, he's one of the ex DLB boys. I don't know what he is. He's trying to host events in the EC community Discord for orcs because, as you guys know, they're pretty much non-existent. They just aren't around much. And
Yeah.
it worked really well because a bunch of guilds and a bunch of random players came together from nowhere. And, for example, a bunch of Ursa people came over even, and they don't even main orcs, but they still came to play with us. Like, we could do that to help the other factions too. If, I don't know, if Mist wanted to lead Eldar on a certain day. I think that's good for them. If you guys could spare a few of your guys to join them, that's my son, by the way, to join them, like, it would really help with it.
Yeah, no, I agree that I think the in the community thing, the Eldar, whoever it was, I don't remember who sent the message out. One of the Eldar players said, "Oh yeah, by the way, Tuesdays and Thursdays at this specific time is Eldar's dedicated day. We're going to jump on and play."
Mhm.
I don't know if the person is inside of this Discord right now is the one who sent that message or not, but
that was Orkan from Mist, I believe.
Yeah. And when I say that too, I'm not saying like, sorry guys.
It's all good.
You got a loud pup there.
I think just to work off of that VI and Strike Force Ultra, we play on, what is it, Saturdays?
Yeah, we play on Saturdays
Yep.
at
Same
1
here.
p.m. CST.
Yeah, like mixed war parties. It doesn't matter what faction we're playing. I'm sure it's LSM. I haven't made it to that many of the events. But
Yeah, we
we're
generally
always
play
mixed.
LSM.
So see, with that then, that would be a good day for you to try and get more guilds involved with this run. Like, for example, and it doesn't have to change anything. You are already doing something that day. Why not try and expand that to get more people to play that day?
Yep. The other thing I want to mention to some of the guilds inside of here, VI used to be a TeamSpeak dedicated guild. We used nothing but TeamSpeak, and our activity was actually abysmal. Even with whenever I started running things, some people just in the VI just showed up because I was the one leading it. But then when we switched over to Discord, it boomed. So if you are currently just using TeamSpeak, I would highly suggest you make yourself a Discord as a guild if you want more activity. Just due to the convenience that Discord is. You might have some, guild leaders that are just completely opposed to doing that. I know there are some. My previous Ragnar did not want to use Discord because he wanted larger numbers, but he didn't like the chat system because if he got 15 people inside the chat, everyone would lag. Their voices would lag. But Discord has gotten better at that since that time. You can also control gain from voice, how much voice. What's the bit rate? You can control bit rate as a server monitor inside chats for voice chats.
Yeah.
So you can even get on here on your phone like you are now, and depending on your internet connection, you actually might be able to hear everyone crystal clear. But if you have that bit rate too high and you're on your phone, then it's not going to be good.
Okay, well, I'm not trying to go too fast. I think the points we've talked about are excellent so far, but let's get it on the floor. Let's say Saturdays, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard. Would that be a time that works for almost everyone here to play?
Just to play in general?
I think a lot of our guys could do that.
Yeah, because let's be honest, Saturday, midday, most of the guys are going to be free. For example, in my case, in my guild, that's when we always run our events, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Yeah, there's another thing we could do for that event list that we have up inside here that says scheduling. If you already have guild events that you are running at specific times, put them up in there, and then if say like whenever I'm running my murder make here on Fridays, TOC has showed up for them. The guys in Strike Force Ultra have showed up for them. If you want to play with us, I can be like, hey, join our Discord. Here's the link for it. Come and fight with us, because I'm down for anyone joining us on that.
Yeah.
Fighting with us or against us, it really doesn't matter.
So I think what we could do to make this work better is... Hang on. Sorry, guys.
No problem.
Keep you on a cliffhanger.
It's all good.
Give him a sec.
What we could do then is pretty much, if you guys can do either Saturdays or Sundays, just go ahead and type it in meetings chat real fast. Which day would be better for your guild, Saturday or Sunday? We can then do a quick count to see which day is actually better for everybody, because then we could work with that a lot easier. I know a lot of guys aren't able to talk right now or are wanting to, so just go ahead and type it up.
So let's see.
I was gonna say something, I totally forgot. Sorry. I've just been playing Battlefront 2. I was gonna say something before, but I really didn't get to touch upon it. Especially with the way things are right now. If we're gonna do another one of these, as I was saying in chat, we need to know if this is gonna come down 2 months later. I hate to be that negative Nancy, but
No, you're exactly right.
No, yeah, it's
This
needed.
has popped up time and time again.
And I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, Ola. And I hate saying this shit, but I'm being real here. We currently every day, except for the weekends 200, 149 every day. That's really bad.
Yeah, I'm not expecting numbers to increase. That's not what I'm expecting at all.
Yeah, but you can make it feel like
Exactly.
it's more numbers if
It
they're
will
on
make-
at the same time.
Exactly. It's a false success, I guess. It's not going to help the game much. It'll help the community in the game, which will help the game, if that makes sense.
Something.
Yep.
If basically you queue up, one of the biggest turns off for this game is
It's
30-minute queue times. You're unable to do shit but just shoot the shit for 30 minutes. People leave because of that. Now imagine if there's enough people playing all factions to start multiple games at the same time, that queue time goes down to 5 or 10 minutes. And at the end of the match, what would happen if you just got GG instead of shit-tacular Eldar, how dare you be so OP?
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying? It's not going to grow numbers. It's not going to be a direct success. It's going to indirectly affect the overall performance of the game and the player base. One thing that I have done time and time again for EC is I've thought, okay, I need to start this program to help the game grow. I need to go out of my way to make this game grow. And that's wrong. If we're sitting here thinking we're going to make this game do better, we're not. The only way to make this game do better is to make the game itself more enjoyable. And that's not by adding new content. We can't do that. It's not by barking up the devs tree 24/7. That will do nothing. It's literally none of that. It's just we need to make the game better by making the game better. Make the gameplay more enjoyable for everyone involved.
Well,
Cut the queue times down. Make
banning
people...
the melee players?
No, swords are still in play. That can't go away.
When you're saying that, I just want to make sure we have a balance. There needs to be there needs to be a balance of dev interaction, so we at least
Agreed.
know what the fuck's going on.
Well, for example,
Because
Bia and me are in contact with the devs almost daily. I know S'more is too. He has a lot of contact with JBreg. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. There's almost no dev team. We all know that too.
Yep.
That's why the game is in a very awkward state. A lot of people say it's up to the devs to save a game. And it's true, to a degree. But there's also a very large proportion of it that comes down to the community. If you look over the reviews, most people left because of long queue times, because of toxic behavior, because of the forums being nothing but a cesspool. There's a lot that the community does still that directly affects how a game performs. Devs can add new content and they can balance and they can make a game pretty, But the game, if it's a multiplayer game, will never do well if the community does not allow it to.
Yep.
So I'm sad that the devs aren't doing much, but I mean, they can't do much if we don't let them.
Yep. I don't know about the other guilds members, depending on if you're serious or are casual. Like I said, VI is semi-serious. We have some people inside the guild that are competitive players, and we have other that just play because they enjoy Warhammer. But the overall, like, just playing the game, whether you're winning or losing, is, like, I enjoy fighting. Even if we lose, I enjoy fighting inside the game. And I'm not trying to go every single game trying to win. And I don't know how many other people go into this game with that mentality. But I remember in the past, whenever some of the guilds will come across Blop, and they'll go, "Hey, look, Blop's playing. Leave the game." Hey, look,
which is
Mist's playing, leave the
ridiculous.
game.
That
is
just
ridiculous. It
Like-
is, and that's like, why? What are you doing to the game? If
You
you're
see
just gonna
Medusa
up it?
automatically leave queue.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You can't really blame him because it's tempting.
Yeah. But
It's
here's the
very
thing.
tempting.
Fighting Blop can be infuriating. It can be. I 100% understand that. They kicked the shit out of us during our Guild v Guild with them. But they're not bad dudes. They're just playing the game to play the game. Like, give them something to fight.
No,
Like, if someone just wholeheartedly is like, no, I can't fight Blop. They're too good. I don't want to be in the same game as them. They cheat. Don't try and stop them. Just, I mean, if they're in your guild, be like, hey, bro, try and stick it out. If they say no, they say no. It's annoying, but we can get rid of that by slowly building the community back up. It's not going to be an immediate change. It never will be. That's just a sad fact about humans, is you can't force them to change on the spot. That's not how we work, especially nerds over the internet.
It's a gradual change, but one that can be done.
Takes a lot to get us not stuck in our ways.
Yeah, that's the hard thing.
Yep.
But I think that about covers it all. So Saturdays look like it's a good day for everybody. I gotta peace out, guys. So
Yeah, no
I think Saturdays are a good day for everyone. We'll think of a time, like 2 to 5 p.m., I guess, our time. So whatever time that is for you guys. We can try and get something together. Maybe say this Saturday. So next Saturday, this Saturday, whenever.
Yeah.
And we'll just try and do something. We'll have some parties of Eldar going out, some parties of Orc, some people playing CSM, LSM, whatever.
Yeah,
And we'll just see how the queues go.
I'm done for that idea too. I can't guarantee that I personally am going to be there on Saturday around that time because I will be busy. But I'll try to tell the rest of the Wolves to get online during that time and just playing games. If you do, like I said, if any of you guys do have specific event times that you run for your guild, post it in scheduling just so all the other anyone else, if you want to pass that list on to other guilds, or your guild isn't the one that's hosting that event, you could still play against those people, because like I said, we do play on Fridays. If people are available on Fridays inside other guilds, then come on in and play against us.
Yeah.
That's just another time. Even if it's not just weekends, like there are some people inside guilds that are available during the weekday and they play during the weekday. I have some of my Wolf Guard, actually most of my Wolf Guard, that's on every single day.
Exactly. And one thing we can all probably go away and just start kind of brainstorming on and considering is, what do each one of you want to do to improve, I guess, the overall experience? Like, if you guys want to host mini events, say on Monday, XII. Yeah, how'd you like that? Like the whole guild name? You guys pop up and you host an event. Okay, on Monday, you're going to run a game. You want everyone involved. Perfect. Wonderful. But on Saturday, we all try and do our best to do one overall event. One big event.
Exactly.
Like, we can have mini events, sub events going on at all times, even on Saturday. Hell, we could have some RP going out there just to spice things up. But the overall goal should be on Saturday, show them, look what happens when you actually have the game properly functioning as it should. This is how it could play.
Right.
I've actually got like something goofy my group did for a little bit in UAT, and that it was it was something that just happened, but it turned into basically a mini game called Find the Striking Scorpion.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah,
I
Zeph
love it.
actually participated in that. She's very good at spotting things that are invisible.
Hidden source.
Graphics.
Yeah. See, if you found the striking scorpion, it's supposed to run away, but from time to time it'll kill you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that is an amazing. That's a good community there. That's
That's it.
fantastic.
That's an initiative, exactly.
But I gotta head out, guys. I don't know if you guys keep talking. Go ahead. But just kind of take away from whenever you guys go away from this. Just kind of think, what can I do? Like simple as that. What the hell can I do right now? And nothing grand like I can save this game by getting the community together. No, be like, hey, this sounds fun. Let's see if I can get some more people to join in on it. If people show up, great. If they don't, oh well. Keep doing what you do.
Well, I think that ends the official and serious part of the meeting. So let's hope everyone can take the points that have been spoken here back to their guilds and actually keep it. Let's not just have this. Oh, I heard it and I forgot it. No, let's actually try and apply this for once.
Yep. I'm down to doing that.
Torin, I do gotta say one thing.
What's that?
I'm a Space Wolf player, so every time I hear you say my wolves and Wolfguard, it's just like, yes.
Oh yes, man.
Yes.
That's my whole thing though. Like ever since I took over the wolves, I was battle leader before I was a wolf lord. And Ragnar actually at one point wanted to be the Great Wolf, and me and some of the other Space Wolf players were like, "No, the Great Wolf's a named character. You could be a Wolf Lord though, because in the current lore, 2 Wolf Lords are dead. That is open field, in my opinion."
Yep. That's like my guild's related to bears.
Oh yeah.
So I wasn't the original leader. The original leader was I forget where he's from, but he was Slavic. So,
yeah.
And then all sorts of stuff happened, and I ended up leader. Zeph would be able to attest to this.
Are you guys actually dedicated Space Wolf players, or are you just all over?
We're all over the communities. We're casual gaming community.
Okay.
My interest is making sure they have fun.
Yeah, I get you.
So,
I mean, hey, we don't have anything against, unless your guild does. We don't have anything against there being multiple guilds inside our guilds. Right now, we have actually some guys in other guilds that are inside of our guild. So if you want to join the wolves, man, the ball's in your court.
Alright, guys. I'll leave it with that one. I'll catch y'all later. It was good to have you guys show up, by the way. Thanks, y'all. I like that this was pretty informal. Like, I don't want this to become a very rigid thing by any means. Like I said, we're all just a bunch of nerds playing online to try and help the game that we play.
Definitely. No, I don't think I could be formal. I joke around too much.
Yeah, no, I can't do it. Physically impossible.
It's impossible for me not.
Maybe
one point in time, yes, but not anymore.
Over voice chat in Discord. Like when have you seen a voice meeting in Discord that's actually super serious and no one jokes around?
Yep.
That's a part of being on Discord.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Xenos and heretics. I wonder why that I brought you here today. I really don't know. Everyone, get them!
then it says, "It's a trap."
Yeah.
Trap.
I will bring out the ultimate weapon against you. Turning on the vacuum cleaner.
Oh, ha.
Right. Okay, you guys have a great night.
Should I call the vet? I think there's a rabid dog here.
Oh, no. The dogs are the warhounds that are currently known as the World Eaters.
So, could we say meeting adjourned?
Definitely. Unless you just want to stay in bullshit.
Right.
Definitely, yeah.
Then, I will end the recording and start uploading.